All right, ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Season 2, Episode 1, the Week 2 podcast with myself, the Commish, and JJ. We got the Week 2 show here. Jack, how are we feeling? Going into Week 2, I can't believe we're already here this far into the season. Not that far, but
Yeah, 1/8 into the season already. Sounds small, but low key a lot. Glad football's back. Glad to be back on the East Coast, watching some football all day on Sunday. It was so nice. Glad to bounce back in fantasy this week after you pummeled me week one. I'm excited to get into the show. Let's do it, man.
Jack was on a beach on an island somewhere, just enjoying the off season. But it's time to go, man. We need you to lock in here.
I know my players were a little mad at me week one for skipping all their games, but I was able to watch Monday Night Football from the Black Sand Beach in Hawaii, which is pretty sweet. As Emily read her book, and watching Aaron Rodgers lose is always a great time.
That's beautiful. That's a 2-for-1 right there. All right, let's take a quick look at the scoreboard. This is our week 2 scoreboard. We're going to show you the standings after, but a few key games that we can take from week 2. We're starting to see which players are going to be successful, which players are going to be, a little bit of a dud compared to where they got drafted. We're starting off my team, I am worthy, going up against a strong performance from our friend Nick. Um, Week high with 147 points. I believe he was the highest scorer this week with, a 4 touchdown performance from Alvin Kamara, because obviously that's what everyone was expecting. I had a couple guys put us some points, but Jack, it just didn't work out for me this week. I had a lot of duds as well.
Yeah, tough scene for I am worthy this week. A lot of disappointing performances, but hats off to Mueller. Kamara fucked me in the Dynasty League too, so that was really disappointing to see. But happens to the best of us.
What a shame. And looking down at you, I mean, close to the highest score this week, 146 points. Walk me through the week. Walk me through the pregame talks. I mean, how did you get these guys so fired up?
Yeah, so I got back from my trip and I walked into the locker room. I said, "All right, we had our fun last week. Saw some encouraging signs, but it's really time to lock in." I told HN, "I need you to put the team on your back. You're my only star running back." And he did just that. A 30 burger out there. He is catching the ball with insane prowess. Another touchdown on the week. 30 points. This kid is so fast, so fun to watch play football. I do worry a little bit that he will get hurt because they're pumping so much usage into him. However, especially with Mostert out for the time being, this kid's a dog. Jefferson, my guy, skull baby, beat the Niners, 97-yard touchdown grab. I knew from that play that I was winning this week. Not only because I was playing Nabil, but I knew the boys were coming ready to play. Trey McBride catching a fumble in the end zone, touchdown, count
There
it,
we
why
go.
not? Everybody really, I've seen some encouraging signs. I was nervous about this team. Tony Pollard has been really good so far. Surprised me. I did not love that draft pick by myself. Jaden Daniels has been solid. This was not his best week, but the kid has insane talent. And yeah, Nabil, that's a tough showing, especially with Pacheco going down this week.
That's a tough one. Nabila's gonna have to recover from that. But I mean, yeah, your team looks great. Jack, I totally lied to you week 1. I said that, HN, I was worried about how much usage he was gonna get, but with Mostert injured now and Jalen Wright not getting a lot of touches, I mean, it's this guy's backfield, obviously.
He's a
And
dog.
yeah, efficiency is still really good. Jefferson, huge catch, almost ran faster than the referee. And yeah, I mean, this team is looking good all around. I will
Sure.
say that I'm pretty happy with my Jameson Williams pick. You know, I mean, he might be my top option after this next week here. He looks good so far, cemented himself as the wide receiver 2 in Detroit, and that might give me a few points down the stretch. So I'm feeling okay even after a 1-1 start.
Yeah, certainly. He has some big play upside for sure. He's super fast. Definitely a deep ball target for Goff, who's looked shaky to start. But with no Debo, you are certainly going to need him to step it up a little.
You're right about that one.
Looking here now, if you want to go back to Tyler's game, Just want
Oh
to
yeah.
shout him out real quick. 2-0, dominating performances. Chris Godwin, the only receiver in fantasy football to put up 20 points in both week one and two. Pretty impressive. And
Wow.
Brock Bowers, man, this kid might be the best tight end in football already. Like, I don't know if you saw some of the grabs he was making, his movement. This kid is unbelievable. Got him locked up in Dynasty, hopefully for the next 12 years or so. This kid is unreal.
I don't watch a lot of college ball. I was being told by some sources that he's the best prospect in the last 10 years for tight ends. And I mean, it's on show, obviously. Yeah, I think he's like the second ranked tight end in fantasy right now. And obviously, it's only been 2 weeks, but with this position being as shaky as it is, as like volatile and chaotic as it's been the last 2 weeks, I mean, that's a guy you want on your team because you drafted him with really good value. You drafted him late for most people, right? So
True. Very
I love
true.
it.
You got guys like Travis Kelce putting up 1.5 this week.
Yep.
Laporte, I feel like hasn't been good. Dalton Kincaid has not been good. And then you got guys like Brock just gone absolutely bonkers.
Last few matchups here.
Next three,
You know,
we got a barn burner here in the middle. That is a good game, a good win. Evan Ganders, first W. Welcome to the league, my friend. It doesn't say that much because you did beat Scott, but I'm glad you did it. JSN, what a day from him. 16 targets. Kid's a beast in the making. Jordan Mason, nice little pickup off waiver wires. Congratulations. You had the worst week one, so you got the first grab at this kid, but congrats, man. First W.
congrats to him. That's a big welcome to the league moment. I mean, a coach's first win is always memorable. I was watching my New England Patriots secondary get burnt by, first of all, Jackson Smith-Njigba, and then DK Metcalf just having a great game. So that was frustrating, but I can respect it nonetheless. And shout out to James Murray, who had his kicker put up the most amount of points on his team, and still walked away with the W. So just listen, I'm just gonna put it out there. I'm the one who suggested that we don't use defensive kickers, and everyone wanted them, and you know what? Great. You want to lose? You want to lose to a kicker, guys? That's what you asked for. So that's what we're rolling with this season.
Yeah, I've been on your side since day one there. Defense and kickers, I think, should have absolutely no place in fantasy football, especially defense. But like kicker getting you 20 points and winning a week like that, that just shouldn't happen. If he makes two field goals and that's it, then Murray loses and scores 86 points. Like
Or you
in
have
seeing week saved by a kicker.
saved by a kicker, or you have Graham Gano who got injured in like what the first half, and then the
Yeah.
Giants scored 3 touchdowns and missed all their 2-point conversions, and then you have a kicker that put up 0 points, and
Yeah.
it's ridiculous, ridiculous, way too chaotic for this league. I need some stability.
Really? Oh my God. It's so volatile. I hate it. Shuby, though, up top. Great week from Shubesmeister. James Cook, three tutties in the first half. Amon Ra back on track after a down week one. And Malik Neighbors, this kid's awesome. Just wait till he has a real quarterback throwing him the ball. My God, this kid is good too. LSU, man. Boy, do they breed receivers.
I heard that Malik Neighbors accounted for 75% of the Giants offense in week two.
He did get a
Which is
75% target share.
ridiculous. I mean, not surprising. I can't name you a second receiver on the New York Giants right now, but yeah, if he keeps up this volume, which I don't see why I wouldn't, considering this offense, yeah, that's a great pick. I love it. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at our standings here. We got a couple guys up top. The Justin Tuckers leading the East right now, 2-0. Jack, you and I in close pursuit behind. And we got our boys Ollie and James leading the West right now. What do you make of the standings? Who do you like?
It is very early. I'm feeling good though. My team has given me some confidence, I think, this past week, especially. It's, I feel like this happens every year. It's tough to catch Tyler in the regular season, but you never know what happens in the playoffs. I'm liking how we're looking so far. I'm surprised to see myself at two after with points scored and everything, but I guess that's how it works out. I think our division's a little, it's got Gander, it's got Scott, so a little leeway, but we'll see.
It's wide open for the taking. Let's just put it that way. And you're right. Tyler finished the 1 seed, I think, in the regular season last year. And I was able to catch him in the finals, but I think he's got a good team again. So we'll see how it shakes out.
Sure do. Still only three teams without a win. Bridge, Scott, and is that Suit? Krusty Krab Pizza?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, Suit. I feel like these guys have all, or yeah, somewhat caught the injury bug. Poor Suit with taking McCaffrey. I told you it was a bad pick, man.
Listen, I don't know.
It's a curse. It lives on every year.
It's a curse. You couldn't justify taking another player, right? Like McCaffrey scored 100 more points than the next running back in fantasy last year. You look at that stat and you're like, I'm an idiot to not take what's in front of me. I would have taken him at the second pick. But yeah, that's for and the fact that he doesn't have his backup, I think Gander stole him in the late rounds. I mean, that's just tough. Sucks for you, man.
Does suck. And you got that plus the Madden cover curse, double cursed. Shit
Right.
season on the way. Hate to-
Yeah.
I remember last year when I played Tyler in the semis, I think McCaffrey was like projected 26 points to start the week. Like, yeah, I've never seen that before.
What a year for that kid. One last shout out. Congratulations to Nick Perone. I believe he is at 33% of his total win count for last year. Maybe 50, I think, going into week 3. So good on him. We are we are leagues above where we were at the end of last season. So
Bruno
Perone,
is so back.
we're back. I mean, that's one win is huge for this kid, for the organization as a whole. So I'm very proud of him. Even more wins on the way, possibly. Jack, you were kind enough to lend us your insights once again. It's been a chaotic 2 weeks. We've seen teams fly up and down these rankings. I don't think this was an easy list to make, and I'm sure those in the comments will let us know that it's wildly incorrect. But nevertheless, here we are. Jack, take us through the NFL rankings.
Yeah, so this was a tough week, especially to do power rankings. The 1 o'clock slate saw like six or seven underdogs winning. There was madness all over the board, crazy comebacks, blowouts from teams you'd never expect. So take this list with a big grain of salt and be sure to leave your comments on what you think should change. Starting off with the dogs, got the Bills, we got the Chiefs. I think those are the only two teams that have really, I mean, even the Chiefs' last win was sketchy. But they've showed, they're still pretty dominant. We'll see what happens with the run game in Kansas City. But the Bills look good, dominating week 2 win. Chiefs look good. Nothing much to be said there. In the decent tier, we got a lot of teams, a lot of good teams that probably didn't expect to lose this week, including the Ravens are 0-2. Terrible, terrible loss. And then you got surprises on the other side. You got the Saints who are 2-0. Derek Carr is looks like a top 5 quarterback in fantasy football and real football. Absolutely ass blasting the Cowboys. Texans, Cardinals, impressive wins. Bengals almost had one this week. And then the Buccaneers, Baker Mayfield is QB1 in fantasy. Just
Wow,
it's
I didn't
crazy.
know that.
Yeah, he's QB1. I saw that in my sleeper league this week. He's like the number 2 overall player in all of fantasy football through 2 weeks this season. So I did put a waiver claim in for him, but we shall see. I don't know if I believe in half these teams. I don't believe in the Saints or the Buccaneers particularly, but as of right now, they look pretty good.
Watching Buffalo's game, you know who I'm big on is Khalil Shakir. We came in and were questioning who the top option in this offense was going to be. I was watching the Dolphins game on Thursday night, and he seems like a little bit of the security guy for Josh Allen down the field right now, catching a lot of good balls. I think we see a very balanced offense where James Cook is getting more usage than ever. Josh Allen isn't the one who has to scramble down the field or make a 20-yard run to save the game every time. So I agree that the Bills look really good right now. And I apologize to all the people who drafted Chris Olave because not only is he not producing, but you have everyone around him just throwing up fantasy numbers on the New Orleans Saints, and he's missing out on the share. He had a decent week too, but
Yeah.
having Shaheed outscore you both weeks, that's if I'm a manager for Chris Olave, I'm panicking right now. I do not feel good.
Yeah, no, Shaheed definitely seems like the favorite guy in that offense besides Kamara. And yeah, sure, Olave had, some good catches week 2, but yeah, something's not clicking there between him and Derek Carr. I don't know what it is. Kid's talented, but yeah, I'm with you there.
It might have been when he said in like I think it was in training camp, a reporter asked him, "Is there anything that makes you excited about this team that you see in training camp?" And he was like, "No." So not a great look. I mean, yeah, Carr might be upset about that one. Maybe they're just withholding from him.
Yes. Anyways, moving on. The next tier, lost to teams currently or formerly ran by Kirk Cousins. You got the Niners getting beat by my Vikings, and the Eagles getting beat by Kirk Cousins' Falcons. I do have these two teams ahead of both the Vikings and the Falcons narrowly. I think they're better. I think, yeah, got a little lucky. But shout out to my Vikings, man. I was doing, the always fun, never boring win loss game with my dad, did with some of my coworkers, and I was looking at the Vikings schedule, and I had them going like 1-7 to start the year. They have a gauntlet of a schedule to start the season, and they're already 2-0. They've already passed that. I'm proud of the boys. The defense looks awesome. Darnold looks like a serviceable quarterback, and we're still missing Hawkinson. Addison's hurt. Jefferson went down last game, and he still led a scoring drive to ice the game. I'm so happy.
Congratulations to you, Jack. 2-0. Yeah, good team. All you got to do is get Sam Darnold. All you have to do is get any quarterback out of fucking MetLife Stadium, and you'll just see a lot of improvement, to say the least. I mean, I that was a few years ago for Darnold, but yeah, looks like a good offense, and it sounds like reports are saying Addison is coming back this week.
Yeah,
So
he should be.
maybe.
Yeah, Jefferson, they're saying he should be fine too. Addison, they're saying it's a good shot at playing. So that would be nice going against Houston at home this week. That's going to be a tough game. In the Met tier, you got my Vikings. You got the Falcons, who pulled off a crazy upset win over the Eagles last night. Coming back, I thought they were done for sure. And Sirianni put on one of the worst coaching displays I've seen in the last decade, somehow
Yeah,
losing that game, throwing
crazy.
the ball on third down. What are you doing, man? That guy's an idiot. And I think if the Eagles don't perform well in the playoffs, he's as good as gone.
Yeah, I thought the Eagles had a good run defense, and then you had an Algier Bijan Robinson combo that just, I mean, that worked for them. Like Cousins doesn't have, yeah, 1-2 punch. Cousins doesn't have to throw the ball. That's great. He's not throwing the ball very well anyway.
In this tier, we also got the Packers, who picked up a win with Malik Willis, much to my surprise this week. We got the Chargers, who played the Panthers, whatever. Steelers, 2-0, I believe.
Oh yeah.
Seahawks, big impressive win against the Patriots, who I thought actually looked pretty decent to start the year. And the Jets.
Jack, thank you. That means a lot. And I see where you have him on this list, and I don't blame you. I would have put him right around the same spot. You know, we got an all right team. We got for Jacoby Brissett starting.
Philly is decent, man.
He hands the ball off well. He hands the ball off great, actually,
He's a tank.
to our guys. We got a couple of weapons and a good secondary. So I was so upset losing that game in overtime, but listen, we beat the Bengals, so I'll take it.
You did. I picked the Bengals in the week 1 of my survivor pool and got eliminated already. So
Hey,
that
that's
was
your fault, man. You should have known.
I know I should have. I'd also like to quick shout out Jalen Polk, who I said was my favorite sleeper pick from my fantasy draft. I dropped him already. Uh,
Bro,
Scored a touchdown this week, but I don't have the bandwidth for that kid. He's had like 3 targets all season.
that's fair. I mean, also,
Good.
yeah. Who'd I say? Oh, I said Pop Douglas was going to be the wide receiver one in New England. Hasn't gotten a reception, I'm pretty sure, through the
Now
first two weeks.
it's just Hunter Henry all day. Led the tight ends in targets this week. The guy is unreal.
Hunter Henry over the middle is as consistent as death and taxes,
Yeah.
at least for right now. That was watching him through that game was crazy. I've never seen a performance like that from him on New England. So, yeah, shout out to that guy. I think he's on our waiver wire. So,
Probably.
probably not going to happen again, but who knows? Might be worth a pickup.
It could be. I always struggle to trust him in fantasy. I feel like this happens every year. He has two huge games and then gets, 4.8 the rest of the season.
Yep.
Anywho, moving on to the injured tier, Rams, Tua, Tagovailoa. Tough scene. We'll skip them. Shit, we got the Cowboys who got absolutely ass blasted by New Orleans this week. You got the Raiders who did pull off an upset win against the Ravens, but that team stinks. Don't kid yourselves. They're not good. Cleveland looks like trash so far. Yeah, I know they won this week. They have a good defense, but Watson looks terrible. Amari Cooper looks lost. That team is in trouble. Colts lost to Malik Willis. Need I say more? Got the Pats who we covered, and the Jaguars who scored 13 points with that offense is embarrassing.
I don't think the Browns won that game against the Jaguars. I think the Jaguars lost it from just hearing kind of how that game went down. I mean, like the Browns were like 3 for 14 on third down or something similar to that, and you win that game. And it's like, what are you doing? What's happening? Yeah, Lawrence doesn't look great. Deshaun is worse. Just, yeah, that was an ugly game. And Malik Willis didn't win that game. Josh Jacobs won that.
Yeah, you're right.
Let's not kid ourselves. Almost 50 designed run plays, and that guy just dominated the touches
Yeah, what do you
and
have? Like 30 carries or something crazy?
something like that, maybe more. I mean,
I'm gonna look it up. That's
yeah,
it.
let's find that. Let's find that stat for the people.
Josh Jacobs, 32 carries. My God.
150 yards, something like that.
Yeah. That's ridiculous.
I mean, listen, that's what you want as a manager. But yeah, Willis managed that game to a victory, and good on him. I mean,
Yeah, I
you'll
didn't
take
really even think he was capable of that, to be honest. And he was. Threw it, I think he threw his first touchdown pass. It was like a 1 yard pass, maybe, but still.
There you go.
Moving on to the super shit tier, we got Will Levis's Titans. Man, that kid is funny. Some of the shit he does on the field, really funny. You got the Commanders, who, Jaden Daniels, awesome, my guy. The team is trash though. You got the Bears, also trash, and the Broncos, even worse. Bo Nix looks awful. All the rookie quarterbacks are tied still with JJ McCarthy in touchdown passes this season. Zero.
All of them.
They all have
Wow.
zero. Combined zero. Daniels had two with his legs week one, but that is it.
Caleb looks bad, and I think he's gonna figure it out. I mean, I
Yeah.
think like it's just gonna take some time. I
I
was
think.
watching him. I watched his interception to DJ Moore far down the left side, underthrew the ball, just like with DJ Moore on my team. That was tough to watch. Yeah, so I think it's just some growing pains for that team. I'm just confident they'll shit up our rankings eventually, but it's not gonna
Yeah.
be right now. He's
I'm not.
also scrambling a lot. I mean, that line looks a little broken, right?
Yeah, 100%. He's all over the place in the pocket. This isn't college anymore. But excuse me, I do think he will figure it out. I think he's still talented. As for Bo Nix, I don't know why we as a people decided that after 20 years of college football that he should still be a first round pick. Like, was it
Crazy.
not, were the signs not there? Why did we do that? Why did we let him go in the first round? That kid sucks.
You got to ask Sean Payton, and Sean Payton doesn't know the answer either, probably. So
And last but not least, super duper shit. We have the Giants, who became the first team in NFL history to lose a game, scoring 3 touchdowns, not giving up any touchdowns, and losing in regulation. That team's in trouble. They got outscored by a kicker. Daniel Jones, he did have a statistically fine week, but I don't think he's good. You got neighbors, you got to get someone to throw him the ball. Defense looks bad. The team is trash. You got the Panthers, who we all know are shit. We'll see what Andy Dalton can do this week as Brycey heads to the bench. And Florida State, because DJ Uiagalelei is the worst football player in the history of the universe.
I will be really curious to see how they do this week. I don't know who they're playing, but with Dalton, that's just going to give us a lot of answers on where to put the blame because I think one of my points this week was going to be you're going to see the blame shift slowly away from Bryce Young's situation and more onto Bryce Young as a player. And the fact that they already benched him 2 weeks in the season, no confidence there. it's a terrible situation. Like,
Yeah, the team's really bad.
yeah, you got, I mean, who's your top option? Deontay Johnson?
Yeah, Adam Thielen, who's 99 years old.
Right. Right. And so but you can only make so many excuses after a full season in the league. So we'll see how Dalton does. I think they're just going to be as terrible, but
Me
I mean,
too.
we'll see. I'll be curious though.
Yeah, I am very curious. I also have a question for you. My buddy asked me at work today. If you had to play quarterback for the 49ers against the Panthers, do you think you'd still win the game?
That's
Buddy
like
under center. Would you win?
do you think an average person could get like 1 yard rushing in the NFL? It's like that actually I answered yes to that question. I think the lineman could like
Just
carry
hold
me
the game. Just tush
one
push,
yard.
right?
Exactly. I wouldn't get touched until like 2 yards.
Exactly.
But quarterback, unless you're handing the ball off every time, which might work against the Carolina Panthers. Like I don't
I
think I'm
feel like
smart enough.
the Niners defense could outscore the Panthers offense in a given game.
Yeah, yeah. If I'm the only difference and it's all the other 21 starters are on the field, that's wow. I'm giving myself way too much credit right now, Jack, but
Probably.
I think we have a fighting chance.
Right. Why not?
God, I wish that game was gonna happen this season. I mean that would have been like a college football type betting line.
Yeah, you should email Shanahan and ask.
Listen, I'm a San Fran native. They might let me step on for a few passes.
Yeah, put in submit like a Make-A-Wish or something.
Something like that.
Yeah,
All right, Jack, thank you for the rankings this week. I mean, I love it. I'm sure they're gonna go upside down and backwards going into week 3, but we'll see.
100%. We shall see. That's why we play football, baby.
Okay, here's time for the best segment of the week. We reached out to our professional correspondent, Brendan Bridge, longtime listener, first time better. He messaged me right after this saying that he's on a cold streak. So listen, all I'm saying is take these bets with a grain of salt. But this is what we're going in on for this week. He gave me 4 great picks. We put it in a parlay. We're gonna go with Bears +1 against the Indianapolis Colts. We're gonna go Chargers money line over the Steelers. Straight up, they got plus odds there, which I love. We're taking Texans Vikings over 46 points. And last but not least, we're taking a Garrett Wilson anytime touchdown with plus odds on Thursday night.
Okay.
So, Jack, I love it. I think my favorite pick is the Chargers. I actually think that they're a pretty good, decent team. The parlay is going to hit. So, all 4 are going to hit. So, we have
Yeah,
nothing to worry. What do you
yeah.
think?
This is free money. I do. I like that Chargers pick. I think that J.K. Dobbins is an incredible running back that has just suffered from a torn ACL like 100 times.
Yeah.
That team is decent. Quentin Johnson caught 2 touchdowns this week. Couldn't believe my eyes, but I don't believe in the Steelers. I think they're bad. I think the Chargers could easily win that game. And I also like the Garrett Wilson anytime TD. He's so due. He's had 2 mediocre weeks. Rodgers has just been dumping it off to Brees Hall every single possession. And I think he's due against, I don't know how the Patriots secondary is. I can't imagine they're fantastic.
Listen, Christian Gonzalez is going to give him a tough time.
Oh shit, that's right. I forgot about him.
Don't forget about our
He's
boy.
really good.
Yep.
He might be the best corner in all of football.
I don't know about
Like
that.
like will be soon.
He's really good. That's going to be an interesting matchup. But yeah, I don't know if that'll save us the game, but I think it's gonna be a good one. But I like the Wilson pick. But we'll see. We're gonna parlay that gentleman into plus 1,600 on DraftKings, which huge fan of. I'm putting $5 down for a $90 payout.
Might
Jack,
as
like you
well.
said, that's just free money.
That's what I'm saying. A free $90.
We'll might get an upgrade on the podcast soon. Start investing in stuff.
Yeah, really. This episode has been sponsored by DraftKings. Make sure to gamble responsibly.
One of our last segments, Jack, I just kind of wanted to poke fun at myself real quick. We can talk about our state of affairs here, but this section of the podcast is called Chat. Are we cooked? We're gonna go through my team. This is my team. I drafted it. I'm responsible for what you see on the screen right now. And I just want to think about just there have been so many just poor situations that have happened to my players. I want your opinion first. I want to see what you think about my, you know, my standings moving forward.
I it's tough because I think in the long run you might be all right, but for the moment you might be cooked. Jaden Reed's got a glorified running back throwing him the ball. Jalen Waddle also has Skylar Thompson throwing him the ball, which makes me nervous.
Yep.
Gus Bus has seen absolutely zero action at all. Kincaid's been shit. Richardson was shit last week. I'm confident in him. He's fine.
It's really tough. My situation going
And
into week
Debo's
one,
really tough.
losing, yeah, and I think it might be a couple of weeks with a calf strain, I believe.
I think so.
My situation going into week one and my situation going into week three now is night and day. Like you said, the two quarterback injuries for the Packers and Dolphins that really hurt me. I tried to package together Gus and Jaden Reed and sell it for a running back upgrade. No one took my offer. I'm not surprised. Um, Jalen Waddle is going to lose production. I was happy about my Jamison Williams pick in the late rounds. That's turned out.
Yeah,
And I
he's
think
third highest scorer projected.
that's what I'm saying. He's got 200 receiving yards already. So he might have to carry me through the next few weeks, but I wish I invested in running backs more. I wish I took J.K. Dobbins instead of Gus Edwards. That was my biggest mistake of the draft by far. And I knew that Dobbins was going to be good. Not that I'm praying for any player to get hurt, obviously, but
It could happen.
listen, that would help me a lot. So we might be cooked. I agree. But listen, we got a lot of football left. Players are going to come back from injury.
Anything can happen.
Anything can happen. With Hollywood Brown out for the season, huge on Worthy. I feel great about that pick. Two touchdowns in week one. He's going to cement himself even just as the season progresses. He'll find more target share. Listen, we'll see. I'm just looking to make the playoffs right now. That's my only goal.
That's the goal, my man. And as we segue that, we are out of time here on the Zoom, it appears. So I think this is our last segment, right?
Yeah. All right, boys. That's going to do it for this week. Week two show in the books. Thank you all for watching towards the end. Hopefully, our picks and our players do well this week, Jack. We'll review the parlay, we'll review the week, and hope for the best going into week three. So thank you all for watching again. And we'll see you to break down week three. And Jack, good luck this week.
Same to you. Happy football season, everybody. Keep enjoying it.
See ya, everyone.